Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here today. If you're the kind of person who just loves to pop the hood and see how things actually work, well, you are in the exact right place. Today we're taking a deep dive into the surprisingly complex economics of local government. Look, we all pay local taxes, right? We all see the snowplows and the police cars driving around, but how often do we actually look at the ledger? To figure this out, we're going to use Newtown Township's early 2026 billing cycles as our microcosm. We're going to visualize exactly where those local tax dollars are going, and I promise you, the reality of municipal spending is fascinating. Over $8.5 million. Yeah. By tracking the biweekly expenditure reports across just the first half of 2026, we calculated this massive aggregate sum of approved spending. I mean, think about your own household budget for a second. You've got your mortgage, your utility bills, groceries, and maybe an unexpected car repair, right? Well, a municipality operates on that exact same fundamental principle. They have bills just like us, but with a whole lot more zeros attached to every single line item. Okay, let's dive into this. That multi-million-dollar figure brings us to the core question driving today's Explainer audit. Where exactly does all that municipal money go every month? It's so easy to assume it all just vanishes into some bureaucratic void, but the truth is incredibly specific, heavily regimented, and honestly, it tells a really vivid story about what it actually takes to keep a modern township running. So here is our Explainer audit plan for today. We're going to cover 1. The big financial picture, 2. General fund dominance, 3. The health insurance burden, 4. The cost of winter, and 5. Infrastructure and strategic investments. Let's get right into it.
Section 1. The big financial picture, establishing the baseline of billing.
Before we can spot the anomalies, we really need to understand how a municipality actually processes its bills on a regular basis. You see, a municipality doesn't just write one giant check. Their spending is strictly categorized. On January 14th alone, total routine expenditures hit over $631,000. But look at the split here. About $401,000 went outward as vendor payments, while nearly $230,000 consisted of internal fund transfers for things like payroll and dedicated projects. This is literally the heartbeat of local government finance, a continuous, biweekly rhythm of external payments and internal balancing acts.
Section 2. General fund dominance, the heavyweight champ. No matter which month we look at, one fund always demands the lion's share of the cash, and that is the general fund. For those who might not be completely familiar, think of the general fund as the central checking account for the town's daily existence. It's the primary fund supporting core administration, the police department, public safety, and basic township maintenance operations. Basically, if a bill keeps the lights on, the town's safe, or the administration running, it almost certainly comes out of here.
And this brilliantly illustrates our 2026 monthly spending trends. The general fund slice of the pie is just staggering. On February 11th, it accounted for 72% of all spending. On April 22nd, it was 69%. And by June 24th, a massive 87% of all bills were paid out of the general fund. While there certainly are other accounts for highway aid, fire protection, and escrows, the general fund is undeniably the financial engine of the whole municipality.
Section 3. The health insurance burden, the massive fixed cost. Over $130,000. I want to be super clear about this because honestly, it blew my mind when I first reviewed the source data. This is not a yearly budget allocation. This is a recurring monthly expense.
Just like you and I pay our monthly health insurance premiums, the township has to provide health coverage for its police force, public works staff, and administration. These benefits are administered through the Delaware Valley Health Insurance Trust, and the absolute consistency of this burden is astonishing. Looking again at those 2026 monthly spending trends, in January, the bill was $130,600. In February, it was $129,552. March, $129,402. April, over $131,000. Month in and month out, providing health care to municipal employees is arguably the single most dominant fixed operational cost the township faces.
Section 4. The cost of winter. Seasonal spending shocks.
Now, what's real interesting about this is you get to see a direct timeline of cause and effect. In mid-February, we see the preparation, a $21,139 purchase of bulk road salt, specifically 340 tons from Morton Salt. But then, in the March data, we see the aftermath of an actual February storm. Suddenly, the township's hit with over $35,000 in costs for contract snow plowing, hauling all that salt around, and yes, even paying to repair mailboxes that were damaged during the plowing process. It's a perfect real-world representation of how Mother Nature dictates local spending on a whim.
Section 5, Infrastructure and Strategic Investments, Long-Term Planning.
When we compare routine macro operations against micro anomalies, the true scale of municipal management becomes super clear. On one hand, you have massive routine operational costs required just to keep the lights on and the vehicles moving. For instance, in May, the township paid Payco nearly $38,000 for streetlights, traffic signals, and building electricity. In April, they had to buy a combined 9,000 gallons of gasoline and diesel fuel, costing over $31,000. But right next to those massive fuel and energy bills, you find operational anomalies in the ledger, like an April disbursement of $160 shoe allowance for officers. It perfectly captures the incredible micro and macro scale of municipal management.
Following the 2026 capital strategy timeline, we really get to see how a township constantly upgrades. In late February, they had to drop $25,000 to replace a critical boiler in the administration building. By April, they're pushing forward with community infrastructure, paying nearly $23,000 for engineering a new pedestrian crossing. But the most striking move happened in May. The township executed a massive, strategic $4 million transfer from the general fund directly into a PLGIT investment account. This wasn't an expense, guys. It was a highly calculated move to generate yield and ensure long-term financial health for the community. So, the crucial takeaway here is this. Newtown Township's ledger isn't just a collection of random receipts, it's a living, breathing reflection of community priorities, fixed operational burdens, and strategic foresight. Which leaves us with one final thought to ponder. How does your own local township manage these exact same seasonal and operational trends? Next time it snows, or you see a police car fueling up, remember this explainer, because now you know exactly what that looks like on the balance sheet. Thank you so much for learning with me today, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.